do you do when imperfections limit your relationships? Well, God offers restoration so good can flourish. As a teen, Arnold worked Saturdays at a local farmer's market, and Arnold's boss would greet customers out front. And when customers picked out all their favorite produce, Arnold would take their payments and bag up their purchases. But after several weeks of working there, Arnold's boss figured out that Arnold had been stealing cash. When Arnold, his boss, and Arnold's parents met together, Arnold admitted that he'd been stealing. And although his boss could have reported the entire thing to the police, he gave Arnold the opportunity to repay what he had stolen by working at the farm, doing things like feeding pigs and chickens and gathering eggs and doing other odd jobs. Although it felt good to be given away to right his wrong, Arnold felt terrible. He started to believe that he didn't deserve to succeed in life. We see that same attitude as this week in our readings, we meet the adult Moses. Moses had witnessed an Egyptian taskmaster beating a fellow Hebrew, and he killed the offender. He tried to cover it up, too. When Moses realized others were onto him, he fled to a land called Midian. And one day, when Moses was out tending flocks, God came to him in a burning bush. And the rest, as they say, is history. God invites Moses to be the person he empowers to save God's people. And when Moses resists, unconvinced he has the speaking abilities for the job, God agrees to let Moses' brother Aaron be a mouthpiece. In this exploration of extraordinary relationships, we've learned that God can create good out of broken relationships anyway. And well, because Moses is human and not the superhero he seems like in some movies, his relationships aren't perfect. And yet God choosing him to be used again shows Moses wasn't disqualified from living out the purpose for which he was made. Moses' story reminds us that the people who live for God are all imperfect. That's you and me. But those imperfections do not disqualify people from bringing about God's good in the world. So, back to Arnold. What happened to him? A few years into college, he returned to the farmer's market and sought out his former boss. "Hey man," he said, "our working together meant so much to me, and I'm sorry. I messed it up." Arnold's boss confirmed, "We're straight, Arnold. We're good." Arnold continued talking with his boss, and as they continued chatting, Arnold shared that he was teaching entrepreneurial skills to at-risk youth. He revealed that his former boss was the reason he was investing in youth today. After the men finished talking, Arnold felt a shift inside as he realized that despite his imperfections, God was still working through him. We can see how Moses and Arnold's stories were surprisingly still part of God's good plan. And each of them had failed in the past, and each had damaged their relationships with someone. Moses had committed murder. Arnold had stolen from his boss. Yet those failings didn't separate them from living out their purpose. God reaches out to us even through our imperfections, and we see this abundantly in the New Testament as God initiates a relationship with us through Jesus Christ. In the book of Titus, chapter 3, verse 5, it says, "He saved us not because of the righteous things we had done, but because of his mercy." So, what do you do when imperfections limit your relationship with God? God offers restoration so good can flourish.